Hello there, everybody, it's HeroicLegend here, and I'm back with another Heroic Talks. I wanted to actually talk to you guys about myths and monsters, and some of my more my favorite ones. Now, of course, I'm sure every culture has their version of a ghost and spirits, and while I do love most renditions of them, the ones I probably love the best are, shockingly, American and Japanese. The American ghosts I love because not all the time are they in malicious intent. And this is a big thing I want to refer to too, because it's such a topic that I like to explore whenever I write. So, again, I guess you could say an American ghost is basically the spirit of someone who has yet to move on. Now, this can be for a number of reasons. They weren't ready, they were killed unceremoniously. Again, most renditions of ghosts are very similar to others, but I'm going to go based off of what I know and have read. And the American ghosts tend to be, like, for the most part, demons more than they are actual ghosts. But the actual ghosts are different. Sometimes in movies they're depicted as messengers who warn people. They're used as a lesson of what not to be. They even give you... Some of them might even be helpful to an extent. Sorry. And my personal favorite rendition of a ghost is one who's trying to move on but can't quite grasp how to do so. And through that frustration is where malicious intent begins. Where they just want to be at peace. They want to see their families. They want to go and be with the ones they love, but they can't because they're tied to this world and not even they know why. I also do very like the depiction of ghosts having minor amnesia about how they died. Because then it's a whole mystery aspect to it, which really does help the feel of like Halloween and such. So, effectively for what I believe, and these are now delving from what I've read into what I believe. I believe that all spirits, for the most part, depending, I guess it depends on the person, but have the incredible intent for good. Back when I was younger, I used to watch the show called The Haunting. And one of the spirits that they featured in one of the episodes was one who wanted to protect a baby. And I thought that was, I thought that was very touching, you know. Granted, it was malicious towards the parents, but it's because I saw the parents as a threat to the child. Now, who knows what could have happened in life to cause that thought, right? Or who knows if maybe it wasn't just something that caused the thought, but more something happened to them during their death that caused them to have such distrust in adults or parents, right? And it's interesting to think about a concept like that. Something that's malicious, but as a protector, a guardian angel, if you will, but maybe a little bit more aggressive than that. And such thoughts in my head, I love to make up stories around. Like, maybe there's a spirit who needs to move on, but needs to fulfill something first, needs to finish their job, or needs to finally get that check they've been waiting for, or the recognition they want and they believe they deserve. You know? And with the use of modern technology and things, you can make their wishes come true despite the fact they're not here anymore, and they didn't have it back then. And it's such a wonderful storytelling thing that I would love to see utilized more. I wouldn't mind playing a game where the hero's a ghost. You know, it's probably be very hard to do. And again, there's always that lingering subconscious downer that, you know, well, even if he makes good relationships, he's gone after this. You know, once his story's done, gone, bye-bye. But what I'm trying to get with is, for at least the American ghosts and such like that, it always feels like they have a deeper meaning to why they're back and why they're here. And of course, depending on your religious beliefs, there might be even more to that. Now, for the other talkings of the ghosts. The Japanese Onryo and Yurei. And forgive me if I did not pronounce that correctly. I'm losing my voice talking so long. I'm trying my best to keep it up, but with the sore throat and the cold and such, I'm just trying to keep it up, guys. But Yurei and Onryo, ghosts who I believe were unceremoniously killed, or something's keeping them tied to this world, but they're more malicious. And what makes me love them is their creep factor, their fear factor. Because again, Japanese horror and American horror are very different. If you want an in-depth details about that, go watch Gaijin Goomba. He does a better job explaining it than I do. I'm not too good at explaining stuff like that, but really, what makes them such a compelling storytelling aspect, from my thoughts, of course, is you never know what could stop them. You never know if just something as simple as giving them the smallest affection may help them on their journey to the afterlife, or if maybe sacrificing yourself can help them. Because again, revenge is one of the things that could turn someone into an Onryo or a Yurei. So what if, let's say, I'm going to make up two entirely characters. Please don't call me racist. But let's go for some standard names that I know. Hiroshi. And Hiroshi killed Katse because of a jealous... he was jealous of his family and his life. So out of anger and rage, he killed him. And that caused Katse, who was so jealous and angry, to have a rage boiling in him as he was killed, that he comes back. And he haunts him. And he haunts his family, and he torments them for what he did, because his family's tormented without him. What if Hiroshi giving himself up calmed his spirit? And then comes the best part of this, which is, what if that didn't calm his spirit? What if even though he got his revenge, that wasn't enough, and he turns into an even more powerful and angry ghost that now only seeks bloodshed? How do you stop that? How do you prevent that from getting you? I haven't read too much onto them. I only know, again, what I've read from the past, but I would love to explore that in terms of storytelling. I would love to see, like, how would you stop an angry, I believe, an angry Yurei? How would you stop them? What is the one true way to stop them? Is there even a way? Are you just, is that spot now just doomed and will become forever one of the many lands that are just possessed by evil and darkness? And again, thoughts like that would be perfect for game franchises. I would love to see more of them. But again, I am also speaking from bias because it is Halloween and I enjoy the creepy. Well, kind of sometimes. Sometimes, because I can't play the creepy. I can watch people play the creepy though, and that's why I love YouTube. But like, and level with me if I'm just, going off on numerous tangents, and I'm surprised you people listen to me. Okay, self-deprecation check. I can continue on. But like, some of my more favorite creatures to catch. Okay, some of my more favorite Pokemon are ghost types, and that's because of the lore behind them. Some of my more favorite monsters to catch in Kobe and Tara and Dragon Quest Monsters games, or Dragon Warrior Monster games, are the undead and dark ones, the demon ones, because they're all about being spooky or creepy, but it's their history that makes them so rich, And again, Japanese myths and monsters are some of the great points of like fictitious writing that I love, because sometimes it's so silly how you can stop them. For example, let's go with one that a lot of people probably know, the Kappa, who will literally pull out your intestines through your butthole. I wish I was making that up. I'm not creative enough to make that up, and that's what really makes me sad. But he can be satiated by simply challenging him to a duel, or her. I don't know if they're male or female Kappas. I had to look that up before someone bitches. Forgive me. A little salt leaked in. Little dab of salt. No, I will not dab. But you can pacify them in a number of means that you would have laughed at someone. Oh yeah, the water from the bowl thing. That sounds like someone makes up while drunk. If their bowl on their head loses the water, then they must now be your servant if you fill up the water again. And that's where their strength comes from. Yay. I actually do remember at times, like, I wanted to make up stories using a lot of Japanese myths and monsters, and maybe a couple of American ones thrown in there too for some nice mix. But again, all those things that I've just said in this video, it's just like, I would love to see more games, more art, more depictions of these great storytelling possibilities. I understand it's a little hard, but again, I would like to see it more. I would like to see more people talk about it around this time of the year. I'd like to see more people expand on it and give their thoughts too, because really, it's all a bunch of, we're just basically sitting around telling ghost stories and monster stories, and that's awesome, and I like that. But I think that's where I'll call it quits for this episode. I want to thank you all for watching. I do hope you enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed listening to me ramble on again. It's 2 more episodes, guys, I promise. And then I'll be done with this for at least a while. But until the next one, I just want to say thank you, and laters.